Are you stuck laying in your toddler's bed every night for over an hour, patiently waiting for them to fall asleep, sometimes maybe falling asleep yourself, and then tiptoeing out of the room, fingers crossed that they don't wake up when you shut the door, only to then have to go to bed yourself immediately, or maybe get 30 minutes to yourself in the night before you have to start your own bedtime routine and get right to sleep? Do you feel like the only way you're ever going to be able to break this habit is to endure the world's longest tantrum, let them cry it out, and scream their heads off for night after night? Well, I have good news for you. You're wrong. See, toddlers are actually way better and faster at learning new things than we are. This comes from neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to form and make new connections and pathways based on experiences. Neuroplasticity is what gives children the capacity to learn and, if necessary, unlearn things relatively easily and quickly. See, this ability is most constant and rapid before a child's 5th birthday. So if you think it is too late to teach your 3-year-old how to fall asleep in a new way, or that it will just take forever, that's totally not true, because your toddler is actually extremely capable of learning this. So now that you understand that your toddler is completely capable of learning to fall asleep in a new way, you want to know how to do it. Let me break that down for you. There are 3 pieces to this sleep puzzle. And when I use my ClearSleep Equation with my clients, we address all 3 pieces of this puzzle. The first piece is establishing that shared family mindset. So we do this with toddlers through a family meeting. This is a meeting where all members of the family get onto the same page about what exactly the sleep goal is and what the new bedtime expectations are, and then exactly what every member of the family is going to do in order to reach that goal. See, change will never happen, especially with a toddler, if one parent goes into the room and has one set of expectations, and the other parent goes into the room with a different set of expectations. Change will also not happen if the parents have a really clear sleep goal and really clear set of expectations, but the child is completely unaware of what the goal might be or unaware of what the expectations of them are. This is why family meetings are so important, to get everyone on the same page, to clearly articulate what the new sleep goal is, what the expectations are around bedtime, and as well as exactly what every single person in the family needs to do to get family there. When we do this, we bring massive clarity to the entire family. Picture a well-rehearsed orchestra where each family member takes their place equipped with their unique instrument and sheet music, and they understand their role and know exactly when to play their part in the harmony. See, with a synchronized effort and a shared dedication, they create a beautiful symphony of unity, cooperation, and success. Now imagine an orchestra where people showed up and forgot their instruments, had different pieces of sheet music, and had no idea what their part in the symphony was. Likely that orchestra would not be as successful. Now, once we have established the shared family mindset, next we focus on a personalized and sleep-inducing bedtime routine. I help my clients design a bedtime routine for their child and family that promotes the connection their child is craving in the evenings, along with the activities and environment that will naturally decrease their body's stress and signal to the body that it is time for rest, which then allows the body to produce melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep and encourages the onset of that feeling of sleepiness. When a parent can provide their child with a consistent and predictable bedtime routine that is full of lots of sleep-promoting activities, they are training their child's internal clock or circadian rhythm to fall into a consistent pattern, which makes it easier to fall asleep and wake up at a desired time. Now, the key here is that this routine is personalized because you know your toddler best. You know what they crave and they enjoy in the evenings, and you also know what is motivating to them. So together, we take those needs, wants, and desires that you know, and we make them fit within our new set of bedtime expectations, which will still lead to the family's overarching goal of the child falling asleep independently. This combination of taking a research-based, scientifically proven bedtime routine with your own intuition about what your child needs during this time of the day is that magic sauce for laying the foundation for an easy transition into sleep. And now the third piece of the puzzle is how we actually teach them to fall asleep without us. Now, the way that anyone learns anything is through guidance and practice. Imagine if someone handed you a two-wheeled bike for the first time and said, ride it, without any explanation about how you were going to do it or where you needed to get to, what the end goal was. What if they never gave you the chance to practice beforehand or try and fail? That would feel pretty unfair. It would also feel pretty unfair if someone took away the way you had been doing things, maybe riding a bike with training wheels beforehand, and took it away one day and just said, you're expected to do it this way now. And that person did not want you to cry about it or express any kind of feelings about the new transition. So that's not what we're going to do here. Instead, we are going to teach them how to do it in a really supportive way. We are not handing them the bike and just walking away, but we're also not going to just ride the bike for them and say, oh, it'll just be easier if I do it for you. That's not helpful either. What we're going to do is we're going to hand them the bike and we're going to walk alongside them and only offer support when it's really needed. Now, this might involve a few tears in the beginning. If it feels really scary, it might also involve you coaching them and encouraging them from the sideline, reminding them that you know that they can do this. See, teaching a toddler independent sleep is honestly no different. We start by explaining to them what exactly they need to do. Whether that is to get on the bike and ride from point A to point B, or it is to fall asleep independently without mom in the bed with you. We then tell them the steps that they need to do in order to get there. So climb on the bike, pedal really fast. It might feel wobbly, but you hold the handlebars steady. Or you're going to take a bath, brush your teeth, put on your pajamas, read a few books and sing a song with mom, then get tucked into bed and close your eyes. And then we gradually remove our support. So we go from holding the bike up and walking alongside them the whole way to taking our hands off for a brief period of time. And then eventually to letting them ride away without us there. With sleep, we move from laying in the bed with them to simply sitting next to the bed while they fall asleep, and then slowly moving further and further away from the bed until we are out of the room and they can just fall asleep without us in there. When we set clear expectations, encourage our children in what they are truly capable of, and gradually reduce our responsibilities in helping them to fall asleep, we can get a toddler falling asleep independently in less than 2 weeks. Sounds simple, right? Where most parents get tripped up is when a toddler starts to express an opinion or a feeling about a new expectation or boundary. An opinion can look like whining, negotiating, or even crying. And that's okay. Those are all totally normal ways for a toddler to express themselves. They do not have the language skills that adults have. And now, just because our toddler is expressing a preference or shedding a few tears, that does not mean that we have done anything wrong as a parent or that we need to shut down their feelings or make them stop. Our goal is never to simply stop the crying. It's not to shut down their feelings, emotions, or opinions. And instead, we let them have their feelings, but we still hold the boundary, because that boundary that you are choosing to set is what you know is best for the entire family. A child who can fall asleep quickly and easily and has the confidence to do so independently is incredibly important, because studies show that a toddler who regularly gets the appropriate amount of sleep shows improvements in their attention, their behavior, their learning, memory, and just overall mental and physical health. And parents who have the appropriate amount of time to wind down in the evening, practice some self-care, get some time to their self, that has exponential benefits on their mental health and overall sense of happiness as a parent. And that cannot be understated. Now, if what I said today resonates with you and you would like to use my ClearSleep equation to get your toddler falling asleep independently in their own bed in just 2 weeks, I would like to invite you to book a sleep consultation call with me where we can get on the phone and you can explain to me exactly the sleep challenges that your family is facing right now, what your sleep goals are. And if we think that I would be a good fit for your family, then we can discuss where I think the gaps are in your current sleep situation and how I would use the ClearSleep equation to help you fill those gaps so we can get your toddler falling asleep without you in their bed with them in just 2 weeks. Click the link in the description box to book that free call with me, or you can go to lalimafamily.com.